Hey fam, how y'all doing? On the Eight of Diamonds Day, when I said I wanted to do this, I didn't even realize it was the Eight of Diamonds Day. I guess psychically, I knew, right? I knew it was my day psychically. It was my psychic powers, but I didn't know. I said, I want to do something Saturday, right? And it turns out to be that it's the Eight of Diamonds. So, yeah, just gonna have some fun, talk about some cards, ask some questions, get some good energy flowing out there. It's been a Eight of Diamonds is a chill day for me, and it's so crazy because I don't generally have a lot of chill days during diamond season. But the Eight of Diamonds is my day. Do you find that on your day that you're able to chill more, right? Because I am. I'm able to chill more on my day. I can't share this. I gotta figure. I gotta go inside of here and find out why I can't share this to my Facebook page. But hey, it is what it is, right? So, who's in here? Talk to me. Give me some energy. You know how you at the basketball game and the home team. Hey Donna, the home team has all of the people there, and then the away team doesn't. So the people at home, my friend used to tell me, he said, Neen, I'm at home, I gotta go extra hard because they gotta know I'm here. I was like, oh, that's something. He said they gotta know that I'm here cheering for them, right? Because it's a away game. That was so funny. Hey, how y'all doing? What y'all doing? It's Saturday night and something party. I don't even remember the song. That's crazy. I lost the words. It's Saturday. It's Saturday night. Saturday night before Mother's Day, which I am looking forward to. Peace. I'm looking forward to hearing lots of stories. Hey, you did. You finally caught it alive. Yay. That's so cool. I'm looking forward to so many stories because the Seven of Diamonds is tomorrow, right? And the Seven of Diamonds is Pluto for the collective, the United States. Hey, Queen of Clubs, I can't stream it again, so you're going to have to share it for me. I got to figure it out. They won't let me connect. It's telling me something's wrong with the settings. So the Seven of Diamonds is Pluto this week. So let's think about what Pluto wants us to do because for sure, Pluto is involved. There's going to be some transformations, definitely looking at some things, and oftentimes we don't really believe that it's personal. Pluto, the co-ruler. Oh, hey, the co-ruler of Pluto is Mars. So it's about you, and that work that needs to come up. So with the Seven of Diamonds, in Pluto this week, starting Thursday, how have you been feeling? Seven of Diamonds is a very a card that has a lot of spirituality attached to it, right? It has a prominent Jack of Hearts, but it sits in Venus. So when we look at the Seven of Diamonds, we're thinking about how we earn, we're thinking about the material world, but it has that semi-fixed soulmate with the Nine of Hearts, and this week it's sitting in the Nine of Hearts house. So the Seven of Diamonds is sitting in Saturn this week. So that's a lot of restrictions. So Mother's Day is going to be interesting. That Saturn energy. I think that a lot of things are going to come out that people have been wanting to say for a long time because that's Pluto Saturn. And we know that Pluto and Saturn together, they bring stuff up, right? So I'm looking at how that's going to play out in across the board. Excuse me, but I know that that's a powerful energy. So we're looking at how we can, how can we learn the cards, because you understand it, then you don't have to get caught in stuff. But yeah, I think tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day, to say the least. So other than that, what y'all doing out there? Let's get this started. Let's get the crack-a-lacking. Let's get some cardology going. She said you're 4 clubs in your 52 days period. You're you are 4 clubs. You're 2 of diamonds. We got 9 of diamonds, queen of clubs. Okay. I'm working and relaxing at the I know that's right? That's right? You must be a cat. Yeah, she says she a Capricorn. That's what Capricorn's, right? It's like, because it is what it is, right? It is what it is. You're a 5 of Hearts Capricorn. Ooh, well, yeah, you would be, because the 5 of Hearts are only during that brief season that we go through it. So, but other than that, what's going on out there in the world? You're here to learn. Okay, well, Denise asked me a question. Okay, y'all see that Cash App right there? 96 Saturn. Go over there for Mother's Day and send a little something over here. You know what I mean? Send a little something over here. Let's see how that works out. Because y'all love Lloyd Strayhorn. I know I see so many of y'all on Lloyd Strayhorn every week, and he works hard. And yeah. Yep. He works hard. So hit that Cash App. Y'all got a question. You brought up your book earlier. I can't wait to get it. Yeah, this one, Celestial Patterns, right? This book is so dope. Go over. Yeah, it's a good Mother's Day gift for yourself. Celestial Patterns. This one right here, it's 3 short stories, and they are about relationships. One is called Inner City Blues, right? And that one is really dope, because it's around a 9 of Hearts mom, right? So these are 9 of Hearts. The daughter is a 10 of Spades, and the dad is a 7 of Clubs. Oh my God, this is so juicy. This is such a juicy, story of showing you the interplay of our relationships. Because if you think about it, the 7 of Diamonds and the 10 of Spades, they have a relationship. The 7 of Clubs, they have a relationship through the fact that the 7 of Diamonds and the 9 of Hearts are soulmates. Oh my gosh, I looked for cards that would really help to understand the different energies. So that one is, yeah, you bought Celestial Planet. Oh, you did. Oh, I can't wait till you get it. I want to start the book club. I need to start the book club on the first book, of course, of our book club is going to be my book, right? So we're going to be starting a book club, and hopefully we'll start it like in June. So make sure you go over to Amazon and get Nina Dunham, Celestial Patterns, so you could join in on a book club. And then the next one, I haven't come up with the next one. I hope collectively we can come up with a book collectively. I want to break down the books, with the cards, right? There's so many ways to learn, but I find that fundamentally people struggle because people don't understand that numerology and astrology breaks it down perfectly. And if you have an understanding of any of those, especially numerology, then cardology will be a lot easier for you. So I want to really get to that next level of us having fluid conversations, not about your baby daddy, not about your mama, not about any of that. That stuff is personal for you, and it is good. But we want to be able to use this in our careers. We want to be able to use this on a different level. Can you imagine that you're having difficulties with a person and you can see the card, and then you're able to that based on the energy with the card that you can you can learn to work with this person. And pretty much when we're being triggered by people, it's because it's something that we need to look at. So yeah, let's get into having those good conversations. So make sure you get the book, because we're going to do a Zoom and do the book club on a Zoom so we can talk, right? We're going to have an open panel discussion and all that kind of good stuff with the with my first book. And then, like I said, we'll pick the next book. So yeah, get the book on Amazon.com, Nina Dunham, Celestial Patterns. And while you're on there, feel free to pick any other book that you want, right? Definitely feel free. So let's get crack-a-lacking. I ain't see nobody else on here say that you bought Celestial Patterns. See, y'all be playing. Y'all be playing. 9 Diamonds this year. And 9 Diamonds is about wish fulfillment, right? It's about wish fulfillment. So I need y'all to make my fulfillment come true by ordering my book, right? Order my book. Let me see the appreciation for the work that I put into it. Because when you get it, you're going to be like, dang, this is so dope. Last time I read it on here on YouTube, the first one. And while I was reading it, it's like, how many times have I read this book? While I was reading it, it blew my mind again. I was like, dang, man, I got to go back and write some more, right? So... all right, so let's see. Let's get some questions. Let's get some interesting questions. Let's see how deep y'all are. Let's see how deep y'all are. Come on now. Let's see how deep y'all are. Come on. Come on. I see that Cash App going off. I appreciate y'all. It's an exchange of energy. Just an exchange of energy, right? That Cash App. Let's get some questions now. Let's get some deep questions. I want to go deep with the questions. This is a life spread up in here in front of us. This is where we all sit. I'm the 8 of Diamonds sitting up there. And those 13 cards that follow is my life path. So, yeah. Let's get some questions. Come on now. Y'all not lazy. Y'all got plenty of questions all the time. And then when I'm asking y'all questions, it's like, tweet. No. Get the questions. Hey, Jay. Let's get some questions. Donna says she's displacing. Why doesn't the 8 of Clubs move? Well, that's a good question. There are 3 fixed cards. It's the 8 of Clubs, the Jack of Hearts, and the King of Spades, and they don't move. Now, in theory, I believe that they came back here in a different kind of energy field, because they have mastered to a different level, like that holy is like the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. So some say that has something to do with it. But where they sit at, their power, they're like generators. So they bring things to them. They don't ever move. And that's a whole different energy. It's good, but then again, it could be bad, because you would think about an 8 of Clubs, a Jack of Hearts, or a King of Spades. They never necessarily, they can't identify. If you're not, say you're here, we're in America, right? And someone from a country, someone from China comes and they speak no English at all. You can identify with them because they are speaking to you in a complete different language. So the 8 of Clubs, where they're sitting at, they have some sort of an understanding, but not totally, but mostly not able to comprehend. Now, through their life path, they definitely can discover things. But when it comes down to personal stuff and relationships and stuff like that, you would find that those fixed cards don't necessarily grasp it, right? It's like you're trying to explain stuff. And, the 8 of Clubs more than likely is going to feel like they know it anyway, right? But those three fixed cards don't move. And it's so many different, stories around why they don't move. But I believe because they came here with a different mission, they don't have the same karma because, they did something, like if you look in your astrological chart, you can see the things that you've done that you came back here, to do better or to master. And their eight of clubs, they're masters. They've mastered some things, right? You want to know what you have to look forward in your personal remainder of the year. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you want to know. What do you have to look forward to? Let's talk about the cards. That was a good question about the eight of clubs. So let's get into the cards. Let's get some good questions around the cards, right? Those other things, we can always do personal readings. Let's talk about the cards. Fixed and semi-fixed are interesting. They are, right? And like I was talking earlier, the seven of diamonds is a semi-fixed card. The diamonds is Venus, Venus. So when we think about Venus, Venus, we're thinking about the second house and the seventh house, right? And that's the material world and how we do the things that we do in that second house, how we earn, right? And we know that's Taurus. And of course, we're in Taurus season. And then we have that other counterpart, which is Libra, which is the seventh house, which is the law. And then it is also relationships. So that seven of diamonds is dealing with a lot, and it's double because it's Venus, Venus. So it's dealing with a lot, and it's Neptune. Sevens are ruled by Neptune. So that seven of diamonds has a real mystique to it. They can definitely have some hidden things going on with them. Seven of diamonds sometimes has hidden addictions and stuff like that. So when we look at the seven of diamonds in nine of hearts, that's semi-fixed, you're looking at it Venus, Venus, right? For 1 year, or depending on how you're looking at it, it could be weekly, but for 1 year, it's a seven of diamonds. So when it's a seven of diamonds, what is it working on? That's when it's working on the desires, right? Because it's the material world. So it's working on the desires, the things that it wants. And it's a building card, and it's a card that is an investing card that needs to know what they're working on. Because if you say you wanted to be a baker, right? With that seven of diamonds, you got to line up all of the things that you need to be a successful baker, right? You got to get all of the supplies and stuff together. You have to have your, you got to have, if it's a brick and mortar. So that's the investment piece in Venus, because what you are doing with that second house is going to help you in your relationships, and then also the obligation, because Libra brings that into balance with that obligation. So that seven of diamonds is looking at how they are building, right? How are they building? And sometimes it's very daunting for the seven of diamonds because it's a very attractive card. And it looks like it has a lot going on. So it can find itself being in situations where people are required, people have this requirement of the seven of diamonds, right? And it's karmic, to say the least, right? It definitely, when you attach to Venus, it's karma, right? You know that your relationships and the things that often come back and forth in and out of your life have something to teach you. But the seven of diamonds soulmate is the nine of hearts, and that's Saturn, and that's wish fulfillment. The nine of hearts is like all nines, very giving, very altruistic, but nine of hearts, so it's an emotional card. So it can hold on to things for sure. Nine of hearts can hold on to things way past their expiration date, because of that inability to let go, right? Sometimes you just don't want to let go. But the seven of diamonds is sitting in that house, and the nine of hearts is sitting in the seven of diamonds house. That's where it gets tricky. So when the nine of hearts goes up to the seven of diamonds house, it's now Venus, Venus. So you've left Saturn, where you're used to doing the work. So when you get to Venus, what does that look like for the Nine of Hearts? It's the attraction, right? It's the attraction. It's doing things in a total different way. And I think it's more difficult for the Nine of Hearts than it is for the Seven of Diamonds, because the Seven of Diamonds going to Saturn, it is the fulfillment of the work. It's like, yeah, this is my store. Yeah, my products are great. Yes, I have the support. I have all of the things that I need, and I have the structures that are set in place. But the Nine of Hearts going up to Venus is discovering. Nine's ruled by Mars. Right off the gate, you got conflict, right? Nine ruled by Mars, and Venus is sitting in Venus. So the conflict of the material world, definitely the conflict of being able to distinguish between your desires and the things that you want and how you go after them, sitting up there as a Nine of Hearts, right? Because that passion behind the nine and that heart and sitting in Venus, it could be very attractive, but Mars generally kills off Venus. Mars generally brings that war, brings that, that rah-rah that sometimes can kind of push Venus into the background. So that Nine of Hearts, I think, has it more difficult than the Seven of Diamonds, right? Because it's sitting in a place that, is like the adversary, Libra. Venus, is sitting in a place where it could be tough. It's like it's going to be challenged, right? And then when it gets back to Saturn, they got to prove it. Now, not passion for it, it's going to be difficult. Got to have a passion if you're a nine, and you have to have started with the understanding, right? That's the first house. So you have to have an understanding that it's your passion. Right. So I think it's a little bit more difficult for the Nine of Hearts than it is for the Seven of Diamonds. Does that help, Diane? What impact does the Seven of Clubs Saturn card have? Ooh, child. This made my head hurt. Whew, the Seven of Clubs. I discovered something deep yesterday. We were on Clubhouse, right? And we were talking about the Seven of Clubs, and I discovered something. Every time we talk, I discover things, right? And we were talking on Clubhouse about the Seven of Clubs, and then I was talking to other people and looking at relationships, because the Seven of Clubs is and it's difficult. Seven of Clubs women have relationships that can be messy. They just do. They attract, things. Yeah, Saturn is a hell of a teacher, right? So that Seven of Clubs has the Jack of Diamonds in Pluto, right? So that Seven of Clubs being the reward. Remember, the Seven of Clubs is the reward to the Ten of Diamonds. So anything that is tied to it, it has a certain kind of mystique to it. And it's the card of the mantra. So that's Jack of Diamonds being, that other person that you're trying to date, and it's in Pluto. Think about that. Let's think about the Jack of Diamonds in Pluto, right? It's a Jack. Now, the Jack of Diamonds is a very spiritual card, but not necessarily in a person. The person, depending on the person, is carrying it. But it's a very spiritual card. But when you think about it, when it's tied to a person and there's an attraction going on, like it's in Pluto. So if you're unaware of this person's motives and the attraction is a come up, because the Jack of Diamonds, 9 times out of 10, the attraction is for a come up. So that Pluto energy between the two, the Seven of Clubs has to be careful. You got to be careful, because the Jack of Diamonds, when it comes down to it, it's going to be a Jack. And the Jack of Diamonds has an obligation. The obligation to the Jack of Diamonds is to get some sort of material something from something, right? Jack of Diamonds, they have an obligation to materially manifest, right? They got to materially manifest things, right? They're Jack of Diamonds, and they have a connection to the Queen of Diamonds, right? As we're talking about it. So that Queen of Diamonds Saturn card, it is I mean, that right there just blows my mind, right? It just blows my mind on how we look at the Queen of Diamonds and that connection with the Jack of Diamonds. And I find it more in Queen of Diamonds men with that connection with some Jack stuff, right? I find Queen of Diamonds men to be very interesting because more times than not, they are Jack. Very rarely have met a King of Diamonds man that acted like a Queen of Diamonds man that acted like a King of Diamonds, other than you see the transition in life of Martin Luther King of going from the Queen of Diamonds to a King of Diamonds, and then they had no more use for him. I believe when they got him, he was a Jack of Diamonds. So they groomed him because you become your highest suit at 36 years old. So they groomed Martin Luther King as a Jack of Diamonds, but he didn't stay a Jack of Diamonds. And eventually he became a Queen of Diamonds. They had no more use for him, right? Because that was not what they wanted, was a black man being the King of Diamonds. So when we look at the Queen of Diamonds having that 7 of clubs, it's understanding how to have the conversation, because that is Saturn Uranus, right? So the Queen of Diamonds has to get it out. They have to have the conversation, and they're known. You think about Martin Luther King; he was somebody that was powerful. When he said it, right? So that Queen of Diamonds having that card as Saturn is like you wait for the moment and you wait for the opportunity. But when they say it, it's going to be said, and they have to say it. So I can see the from Martin Luther King, from when he started to where he ended up at, right? Because as a Queen of Diamonds, you got Saturn Uranus, you're going to evolve. Right? You're going to evolve. You're not going to stay you're not going to stay in the same place. So I think as he evolved, he became very problematic. So I think the Queen of Diamonds with that, I know the Queen of Diamonds with that 7 of clubs, that they just got to have the confidence, right? Because Uranus is going to make you say it. And that's the thing with the 7 of clubs, right? That they can be misunderstood too, because Uranus is going to make you say it, right? And it may come out in ways that can be abrupt, right? Because that's Uranus. So I think that 7 of clubs is a powerful energy, and it's tied to so much. It's tied to the 10 of diamonds. It's tied to the Queen of Diamonds. It's tied to the Jack of Diamonds. It's tied to the King of Clubs. So it's not just that it's that card, it's what other attributes is this card bringing to other cards, right? Because the 10 of diamonds is the center of the universe. That's Jupiter. But its most important card is the 7 of clubs. That's the reward. But to get to that reward, you got to go through the Pluto card. Isn't that fascinating? Ooh, child. 9 of diamonds, what is the reason for being here? I don't know what the reason for you being here. That's not a question. Y'all got to ask questions. The reason for you being here. Are you serious right now? We're having card talk. Let's have card talk, fam. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of the cards. I don't know the reason why you're here. That is, y'all are really making my brain flip over here. We got to elevate learning. We go from room to room and from person to person, and we haven't moved the can to understanding that we need to learn how to use this in the collective. We are in a collective. So no, we can't talk about the 9 of spades 3-1. We can talk about the 9 of spades if you got a broad question. Am I not coming across explaining that we're talking about the cards here, not individuals? We're learning the cards. We're learning, we're communicating, we're talking about the cards, and we're using it collectively. We have to get into the collective understanding that we are thousands of years behind, and we got to catch up, right? We got to catch up. This is a collective conversation that I want to have more of. Oh, Lord, y'all are not listening to me at all. It's not this. I'm going to drink my water. Ooh. As you see on there, Cash App 796, go over and hit the button and send something. Like, oh my God. What did you say, Diane? In your opinion, how the card value of the names? I have found that it gives. Yes, I love it. Say you like my name, right? If you say your name, if you say your name enough times, not if you say your name enough times, but when you say your name, that's the vibration. So the name I find is better than the birthday. I don't need your birthday. I can find your name if I know your name and I look up your name 9 times out of 10. It's more accurate, right? Because you respond to that name. We don't respond to our birthday. We know it's our birthday. That's our sun card. And then when we find out what the card is and we do the combination, we're like, but I love the name. I love the card of a name. I love card of a thing. It gives so much more texture, the solar value of it. So yeah, I love the name. Names are my name, Nina, is a Queen of Hearts, right? And I changed the spelling, right? Nina, I changed the spelling of my name through numerology. It's still Nina, but it's spelled with 2 E's, right? I never felt seen my whole life. My family, I felt ignored. I felt invisible. Fact that I have nothing but 7s added to it. But yeah, it is important, your name. So yeah, I changed the spelling of my name. I did, because I was like, yeah, the Queen of Hearts. My whole life and my family, I totally felt invisible. So yeah, I love the name. Okay, so let's get some questions. We're doing collectively here. We're having collective questions. We're trying to be. We're learning to have a conversation around the cards, right? Because we have a conversation when we're talking about astrology. Like, we can talk about the houses. We talk about numerology. We can talk about, your life path. Not life path, your what, just had a brain freeze. So we need to get to this level in cardology where we are having a conversation and we're collectively using it, because we are so out of touch with reality right now, as far as I can see, because things are happening and we're stuck in the mundane, and we want to get into the next level. So let's see. I got to stop pinning them. I forgot I could do that. Okay. She said, you know how Lloyd Strayhorn be doing that? He be saying, let me pin it over there, right? What is the significance of the 52? So you mean plate 52? You're talking about but 52 is going into your Saturn period? Is that what you're talking about? Right? You're going to Saturn in 52, right? Yeah, Saturn 52. What's the significance of it? So it's Saturn. It's your 13 years of Saturn. Is that what you asking me, Lashana? What about the 13 years of Saturn? Let me go down and see. Of course. Yes, okay. So when we look at the 13-year periods, they all significantly are helping us and pointing. And Saturn is is a social planet, it's a societal planet, and you get there 52 years. And that adds a lot to it when we think about it, because when we think about life, more times than not, people are saying, yeah, at a certain age, you should know. But kind of doesn't add up in the cards, because your first 13 years are with Mercury. Then from 13 to 26, it's your Venus years, and then from 26 to 39 is your Jupiter years. So those first 13, those that Mercury, Venus, and Mars is about you, the development of you, right? And who you are. And then we go into our Jupiter years is when we go out and when we step out into society with the things that we've developed throughout whatever it is, throughout your Mercury period is your family, your early childhood. Venus is its relationships. And then Mars is how you put all of that together, right? And then we go into Jupiter, and we go into the world. Jupiter represents the world. It represents networking, higher education, travel. It's called expansion because Jupiter expands upon your Mercury, Venus, and your Mars, the expansion of it all, right? The learning, the curiosity and all of those things that comes along with Jupiter. And then when we get into our Saturn period of 52, it's the crystallization. So your Saturn is based on how well you have done up until that point, right? And 52 is a critical year because you're stepping into that period of your life where you gonna really start doing the work. We think about the time before that was so Jupiter is about the socializing of it all. It's like how your schooling, your travel, you're seeing the world, and then Saturn comes along and crystallizes it, right? So when we think about that at age 52, now you can look at it from that perspective and say, by the time I get to 52, I want to be retired. Right? That's totally doable because you've used those 13 years of Saturn to build. I mean, of Jupiter to build, because Jupiter is a networker, right? So yeah, that was a good question. Let's see. What'd you say? She said you had a client. She was a queen of clubs, and her name was a 10 of diamonds. I think for a queen of clubs, yeah, the 10 of diamonds would work because y'all like that attention, right? So I think that would work very well, but it's interchangeable, right? Yes, interchangeable. But I could see it being overwhelming too. Either way, the queen of clubs is going to be overwhelmed. Oh, we're going to be overwhelmed. Okay, come on with some questions. Let's get some questions. Don't put your birthday up there. Don't put nothing about you. We talking about the cards. We're not talking about you. That's not what we doing. Right? What's the significance of the king? Okay, oh Lord. How do you chart the cards? What does that mean? How do you chart the cards? Your 13 cards? Do you mean how do you read your life path? Is that what you're saying? Y'all, I believe this is why we need to do this, because y'all have no questions. Y'all literally have no questions. Y'all get on all of these apps and all you want to do is ask something about yourself. We don't need to know about you. We need to know collectively what we need to be doing. This is collective time. Pluto is in Aquarius. And if y'all gonna get on board, I don't know what to tell you. This is community building time. This is about collectively us coming together in a time where ain't nobody trying to be bothered with us. There's nobody trying to be bothered with us. Nobody, right? You look at the times now where this is the most detached. I mean, don't give a nothing. It's like this is election year. You really can't tell. But this is the most detached time I've seen in my life. I'm 66 years old. I've been around a long time. And I have never seen people that are so oblivious to the things that are going on around them. We are connected whether or not we like it or not. If you're not good, I'm not going to be good. If I'm not good, you're not going to be good. We have to get this understanding with Pluto and Aquarius. We need to start working about building. We got to have a better understanding on how we relate to each other, how we perceive how things are going, because this is Uranus. So imagine you're working on something. You want Uranus to come along and hit it with that spark. Uranus is a generational planet. It changes generations. So for 20 years with Pluto and Aquarius, this world will not be recognizable. It's a generational change we're looking at. It's not an individual change anymore. And people are fighting, for, I don't like this, I don't want to be in this relationship. That's Pluto in Aquarius. People do not want to be tied into relationships, but they're going about it the wrong way. You don't have to fight about it. You just don't be in relationships. But Pluto in Aquarius, people are going deep down into the bowels of hell, discovering they don't like how their relationship is. They don't like certain things. It doesn't mean we have to tear it down, but we have to learn how to have better relationships. And the Five of Diamonds is going to be in the sun in July. That's a black man sitting in the sun. Think about the black man sitting in the sun. You talking about the biggest word out there is narcissist and gaslighting. You ain't seen nothing yet. You got the Five of Diamonds in the sun. It's going to be gaslight city, right? Not taking responsibility, wanting to be free. There's so much is happening that we have to process. We got to process where we're going, because Uranus is not going to sit around and wait for us. It's not. We have to get in a line to understand where we want to go. And this is through collectivity. It's not a word, right? So name values for money and money at the 7 clubs. Yes. I have a whole dictionary. I have a dictionary. Everything that I think about, I look up the solar value and I put it in my dictionary. I look at everything. Yes, I have a whole dictionary. Yeah, I have a dictionary. My cardology dictionary, I believe in the name so much, and it vibrates to it. If you look at the life path, like money, lowercase and then uppercase. If you look at it, what is the 7 of clubs? It's a mantra. And what's the challenging garment card? The 8 of diamonds. Material, right? It's material resources. But yeah, it's so freaking challenging. Why is it challenging? And then when we look at the 7 of spades, we know it's spiritual. Right? So we're looking at something that, and then of course the 7 of spades, 7 of clubs has the 7 of spades, what? As its Saturn card. So what does that mean when you say the word money? Right? So it's not necessarily a good word. It's not. You want to say something differently. Currency. You want to look up something that you can vibrate better to, because money just has a weight to it, right? Money, how do you earn it? You got to go to work. You got to work for 40 years. You got to work for this. You got to do that. So money, yeah. 7 of spades, higher. I always use the the capital, first capital, right? But then that's spiritual money, but you still working for it. You working for 7 of spades money. You climb into the sun. So yeah, I would look at currency and different ways to, retrain how I feel, because how we feel about our resources, which diamonds are resources. They are needful things. So as we feel and how we think about them is how they're going to come to us, right? If it feels daunting because I got a 9 to 5, I don't this, I don't that, we got to change. And the solar values of these words help us to see a different life path, right? So yeah, I love looking at the different solar values. What is the cosmic moon? The cosmic moon is a higher vibration of when we go from the cosmic lesson to the cosmic moon. It's a higher vibration of the moon, and it is tied into your relationship with the divine feminine, and it's definitely tied into relationship between you and your mother. So your cosmic moon card, like today, is the 8 of diamonds, and the cosmic moon is the 5 of spades. So that gives me a lot of diversity. I'm somebody that you don't necessarily want me in my feelings, the 5 of spades. If I get in my feelings with 5 of spades, I'll do something productive, because spades are more mature, and spades are, the health of situations. So if I get in my feelings, if somebody gets under my skin, I'm going to do something productive with my cosmic moon, right? Because it's a higher vibration of the moon. I don't want to be vibrating low with that kind of energy. So your cosmic moon, yeah, you're gonna be tested for sure. So whatever your cosmic moon card is, it's gonna more than likely be tied to the divine feminine, right? Yeah. Things that you got to work on, and feelings and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, mine's a 5 of spades. So I do a lot of movement when I'm in my feelings. She said, a friend was showing me a place, encouraging me. It's beneficial to me. Is it a good place to go? I don't know. When looking at the connections, can I look at it? Yes, when you look at diagonally, like if we look at the spread, if you can see the spread, and today is the 8 of diamonds. If I want to see what my relationship is with the, say, the 9 of spades, I have a Venus relationship, because I look at the 5 of clubs is Mercury, and the 9 of spades is Venus. So it's a Venus relationship. So yeah, for sure. You count the spaces between. Like if I wanted to say, what's my relationship between me and the 3 of spades? The 10 of spades is Mercury. The Jack of hearts is Venus. The 4 of clubs is Mars. The 10 of diamonds is Jupiter. So I have a Saturn relationship with the 3 of spades. Right. So yeah, I love looking at diagonally when I, in the interaction that I'm having with something. Yeah, I love that. So yeah, for sure. What does it mean when you and your guard card year? Oh, y'all following Quest Maximus with guard card, right? I don't do the guard card. You gotta ask Quest Maximus that one. I don't. Unless you're that age. If you're that age, and yeah, it's different. But prior to that age, I have a whole different understanding of the guard card, because I was 52. So, but I don't have the same take on the guard card. Where can I get your books? On Amazon. So yeah, I don't have the same take on the guard card. I don't spend a lot of time on stuff. I think saying the guard card is just sexy now. But I don't spend a lot of time on it, because it was not a sexy year for me, right? Oh, you and your 7-year cycle? Your 7-year cycle with what, though? What are you in your 7-year cycle with? Are you 52 years old? Because the guard card is the card that they use at 52, right? That's a new terminology for me. When I started cardology and I started all this, that's a new that's what they call 52 is what did they call it? They call it critical year. That's all I know 52 as is. Oh, so you 49. Yeah, so you're in your 7-year cycle and you're 49. Yeah, so you want to look at the overall, when you're looking at your 7-year cycle, your card at 49, you want to pay attention to that card at 49, or your life spread. So if you're 49 years old, and what's your card? At 49 years old, let's see. Let me do this. At 49 years old, the theme of 49, the theme of 49, the theme of 49 is the four spades is in the sun. Ooh, shooky. The jack of spades is Jupiter. So you are 6 of clubs, or that's your 7 year. Which are you a 6 of clubs? Is that your sun, or is that your card for 49? Your son. Okay, so you need to look on let me see, spread. So you're 49. So you're going to go to age at 49. You started a 7-year cycle at 40. You say you're 49, right? Okay, so you started a 7-year cycle at 49. And your Mercury card for the 6 of clubs is the Queen of clubs, right? So you're on the Queen of clubs year, and your 7-year spread, you're going to go to the bottom of the page, and you're going to see where it says 7 years, right? And this from 49 to 55 is age 7. So you're going to look at that card, and then you're going to go over to your life path. And then you're going to look at the significance of that Queen of clubs, right? The significance of that Mercury card and what you should be doing that year of 49, right? Each year is going to add on to the other year. So mastering 49, and 49 is a tough year. I'm just saying it is. It's an ending, but it's when we're looking at nines and endings, 49 in and of itself, oh, child, that was a tough one. And for most people that I coach, 49, it can be, you got the 4 spades displacing the 8 of diamonds. So we're looking at the culmination of work, right? Because, the 4 of spades is a card that, equates to living your best life. But it's the culmination of the work at 49. And then the jack of spades is Jupiter. So it's telling you that there is definitely going to be some changes. There is some things that are going to be happening at 49. And this is across the board. The 4 of spades is in the sun, and the jack of spades is Jupiter. This is how we read the cards. We want to look at it across the board and see how we're being affected. Once we understand collectively how we're being affected that year, then we can start looking at how we are using the energy of 49, right? Because you're going to have people that may be like you're 6 of clubs. So you'll meet people that are 3 of hearts that year, because the 3 of hearts is sitting in your house. But the 8 of diamonds is sitting in the 3 of hearts house. So this is how I look at the cards. It's telling a story. It's telling a story of all of the things that are happening and how you can best use it. So 6 of clubs is pretty, displacing the 6 of spades, which is the Mercury card. So yeah, that part, right? That part. It's pretty familiar territory for you, but it could also be kind of stagnating, because the 6 of spades, that's a transformation box, and it's 4 years old. So we would all be looking at that 6 of spades and looking at that transformation box. And the 6 of spades is displacing the ace of spades. Another transformation. You following me? So when we're looking at these cards, we want to see the hidden potential. There's so much hidden potential, but the overarching theme is you're going to be in the collective at 49 years old, right? It's an overarching theme of 49. Everybody 49 going to be going through it. So you want to get an understanding of how to play your hand. Now, it's a Queen of Clubs year for you. And Queen of Clubs is displacing the 2 of diamonds. So you being the 6 of clubs, you're going to be put in situations where you're going to be looking at partnerships, right? And these partnerships are going to be material partnerships. And the Queen of Clubs is a material card, and so is the Six of Clubs. Six of Clubs has an Eight of Diamonds in Jupiter. So very material card, right? So 49 is about you and your partnerships, right? Your partnerships. How are you? This is your 7-year. This is a 7-year cycle. So in these 7 years, you just started. In these 7 years, yeah, you're going to hit 52 during your 7 years, but you don't have to worry about that if you are concentrating on 49. Right? If you are understanding what 49 is, then you get to 50, then you get to 51, then you get to 52. Your 7 years, you're building, right? So yeah, 52 is a critical year because you are now entering your Saturn period. So it's critical for you because you're going to start measuring it. You're going to start looking at, oh, what have I done? Right? Because remember, 49, you're still in Jupiter. So are you going to use that Two of Diamonds to network? Are you going to use that Two of Diamonds with that Queen of Clubs to be influential? Because that's a very influential placement, the Queen of Clubs and that Two of Diamonds, right? So yeah, I'm saying. That was a good one. See, that's what we got to do. We got to get into the whole, we're starting in our 7 years. We got to follow out that 7 years. We can't necessarily, like you started your 7 years at 49. Sure, 52 is critical, but 49 is more critical for you now, right? 49 is like you got to get down into, looking at how you're going to be building. Like I said, people could retire at 52 if they knew certain things, if they knew how to prepare at 52 when they hit their Saturn. Saturn crystallizes the work that you've done, the things that you've done become real. They don't have to become restricted and good. No, that's because you're not prepared. Right? Jupiter is where you network. Jupiter is where you're looking at expanding upon your education, your travel, your understandings. Jupiter expands all of that in the collective. So in the collective, do you not like people? Do you not work well with people? Are you not diverse? Yeah, it's going to be difficult. Because you're going into Saturn, which is a societal planet. So by the time you get to your 52 and Saturn, you are expected to perform, right? You're expected, you looking, I have nothing in the bank account. I haven't done anything. I'm just, yeah, that's why it's a critical year. You're sitting with the King of Spades. You're sitting with the 52 cards. That's what it means to be at 52, is you're sitting with the King of Spades that year and you're being judged. It was not a good year for me. I'm just saying. I didn't know the cards then, but yeah, it wasn't the best. But looking back at it now, everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. But I didn't have to work as hard. I worked too hard because I didn't know. Right? So we get ahead of this stuff before we get there, and we start using our energy and what we want in the year that we're sitting in, right? And where we're sitting at, and we start building from there. The next year builds onto that. The next year builds onto that. The next year builds onto that. That's why it's important for us to have these collective conversations, right? These collective conversations that open us up to a broader spectrum, because when you're dealing with Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus and Neptune, you're dealing with the collective. You're outside. And this is why we don't necessarily do well, because we're stuck in Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Those are your personal planets. Soon as people come on here, they put up their card, tell me about me. Nobody cares about you. Literally. We have to get out of that looking at from our limited Mercury, Venus, Mars perspective. We got to get out into society, because we are way behind. We are way behind in how people come into our communities and they know how to build, right? They know how to build. They figured it out. It's not about me. This is about the collective. We got to look at it and see with Pluto and Aquarius, we got to get it right. You got people saying that in 2040, we won't have, in our community, we won't have any wealth. Yeah, because they watching us now. We gotta make liars out of them. Yes, we can have wealth. We can have wealth like everybody else. Right? But we got to come together back to the point where we understood the building of community. That's what we got to do. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for community building. That's what I'm here for. That's why I teach the cards. That's why I love the cards. I love talking about the cards and teaching cards. I do. I love it. Yes, once we as Black people get together and support one another. Yeah, once we understand the assignment, it's an assignment. We came here to experience life. It's an assignment. You came here, you signed up, and not only that, you signed up to be in a time that is giving you a chance of, like people talk about, oh, I want generational wealth. I want to break generational curses. If you don't know anything about Uranus, you can't do neither one of them. Uranus is generational. Uranus. So you got to know what your Uranus card is. You got to be able to deal with people in that Uranus atmosphere, but you got people that's stuck in their personal planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Me. I want, me. It's me. It's not you. It's not. You have times like this where people are going to come together in think tanks. They're going to come together and they want to know. I wrote this book so people could sit down and have open discussions about relationships and how they really look, and cards and all of that kind of stuff, because we have to get out of this little Mercury, Venus, and Mars crap. We like babies. We're babies. Everybody else is in Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And we wondering why they can do this and they can do that, because they understand community, right? What do you think of the pure spread? Oh, that's a whole different one. The pure spread, that's advanced cardology for sure. Yeah, that's a whole nother level. We got to master the life spread. The pure spread, if you can handle it, it's definitely, but the average person has problems with the life spread. So I don't do too much in my class, which I have a class that starts in 2 weeks. You can sign up on my website, and this is what we do. Yeah, the pure spread. Yeah, this is what we do. I have a certification class. If you want to become a certified astrologer, most of the people that you see out there have came through my classes, right? So I believe in people using this as a tool, definitely for your life, if that's all you want, but to earn money. Right. And not even to say that you're doing readings and stuff like that, but suppose you want to raise, you need to know how to go about getting that raise. And it's in your life. It's in your life path, right? For you to tell you how to get a raise, right? Just like at 49 years old. At 49 years old, you're looking at the significance of 7 years. That's 7 years that you get a chance to build in. Where do we get that at? Where do we get this much information, right? Where do we get this much information? 7 of diamonds is your Uranus, so definitely need to understand how to unpack that. Yeah, Uranus is your hopes and wishes. But Uranus is odd and unusual. It's abrupt. It's the disruptor. It's the rebel. And most people are rebelling against the wrong things, right? They're rebelling against nonsense things while everybody else is building. We got to get out of that mindset. And it's not for everybody. And trust me, I'm not for everybody. I'm not trying to be. I want to be for people who want to do the work. People who say they want to be successful and then they go after it. I'm not holding people's hands. I'm 66 years old. I've come through a lot and I've seen a lot. And where I'm sitting right now, it's sad. to see where we are with the biggest thing that's happening is Drake and somebody else. That does not put any kind of food on your table. It doesn't do anything, but it's one of the biggest distractions, right? One of the biggest distractions. So social media, it serves a great purpose, but it also undermines your ability to think outside of the box and to get away from, the whole throw everybody in one thing and see what they're doing. It's like back in the day, 40 years ago, they had to go out into the community and create find out what. Now all they do is go on social media. Oh yeah, they talking about Drake. They still stupid. Oh, they still sleep. Don't worry about them. Doesn't that bother people? Doesn't it bother people that they have no expectation of us using these sciences? It's like if they really thought we could use these sciences, they wouldn't be happy. They wouldn't be happy because this is what they use. Trust and believe this is what they use, right? Trust and believe this is what they use every day. Right. So, yeah, that's what I want to get to. I want to get to the place where I can understand what's happening and be able to anticipate and see what direction things are going in so I can get in. I want to build. I want to have generational wealth. That's why I write books. That's why I teach. That's why I do the things that I do. Because that's Jupiter. Jupiter takes everything that has to do with education, with metaphysics is going into Uranus. So I want to be outside doing these things. So when stuff comes into, comes available, I'm ready. We need to get ready. We don't have to be masters, but we want to be on the on the field. We never on the field. We're always behind everything, right? Right? We're always behind everything, and we wait for it to be on 6 o'clock news. This is never going to be on the 6 o'clock news. So let's have conversations. Think about the questions and the things that make you go, those real things that make you want to unpack things. I like to unpack things. I want to know what makes it tick. Right? I want to know what makes it tick. Yeah, cardiology is sexy as hell. It's a 9 of clubs. Y'all are into the sexy side of it. I'm not. I'm not into the sexy side of cardiology and talking and sounding. I'm not into that. I've long since passed that. I'm into now the community building side of it. That sexy side of it, it's not going to get us anywhere. It's not. There's so many things that I hear people say. As soon as they say it, I know who they're listening to. And that's fine. But just know, I don't know. I don't. I'm an old dog that you can't teach new tricks to now. I don't want to learn new tricks now. I want to get into Pluto and Aquarius, and I want to be prepared. Do you understand that we are in? It's only like 5 months in, and look at how much everything has changed. So what do you think it's going to look like in 20 years? Y'all are younger than me. In 20 years, you right now, you can chart your life now because nobody can stop you. Pluto is going to put you in situations where you are going to be forced to do things, or you can figure out the things that you want to do and be assisted. Because Pluto is not going to ask for permission. And Pluto and Aquarius, those are two fixed signs. Come on now. We need to get ahead of it, right? So let's touch and agree. Let's touch and agree. Let's get to the next level. Let's do this while nobody is paying us no attention. We hiding in plain sight, right? We are hiding in plain sight. Let me see. What did Jay say? No, I could click over here. Would you say plate 49 is hard because it's a collective communication in the sun, the four spaces, Neptune, Mercury in the spread? Yes, absolutely. And the four space is a Jupiter card. right? It's a Jupiter card. The four of spades is a networking card. It's Jupiter Venus. That's a networking card. So at 49, it's sitting in the sun. It's telling you you've had missed opportunities if you haven't started already, right? You've had missed opportunities if you're not able to at 49 you're trying to figure it out. Four of spades has been on this on for the in your life. The four of spades is already going through a 4-year cycle, 5-year cycle, and it's a missed opportunity, right? Some missed opportunity. So we want to get ahead of these opportunities. And at 49, you're starting a new 7-year cycle. So that's critical. You can go back and look at things and dot some I's and cross some T's, but you want to get clear at 49 because it's an ending. And that means there's some stuff you're going to have to leave behind, right? There's definitely in the Jack of Spades is Jupiter. So you're going to meet people that are going to help you if you're open to the help. That's the initiation process. So with the Jack of Spades being Jupiter, you're going to meet powerful people. Right. But that also is an indication that you've met powerful people along the way already. Yes. Yeah. You get to the peak of the mountain at 50. Right. So when we look at this, we get a chance to, in our mind, we're like, okay, so we have those ahas, like they say, right? Those aha moments. Ooh, this was good. This was delicious, as I like to say. Delicious. Appreciate the people got to get trained not to think that every time they see you it's a free reading, it's a free talk about me and understand. No, that's not helping you. It's not. Mercury, Venus, and Mars, you can study this all day long, right? You can study this all day long in your personal time. But yeah, your personal time. But when we come together like this in a collective, we need to be asking collective questions. We should want to know about what's going on in the United States, right? United States has a birthday. And this birthday is the first Pluto return the United States has had. And Pluto takes 248 years. So we should be asking questions about the collective. Where are we going in the United States? Will there be an election? Will there be a coup? Will there be a takeover? We're very vulnerable now. We could all be speaking China, Russian, or whatever. We are extremely vulnerable as a country right now, right? Because we're so scattered and we're so disjointed. At the Pluto return, you think about just having the opportunity for you. People are fighting, saying, but China, it's not a bad thing. China should not have access through Twitter that it has. I don't care what nobody says. This country can have a Twitter that belongs to this country. But China is using bots. You got Russian bots. You got all of these bots to send out all of this information that people are sharing, and all this misinformation that if you click on these things and you keep looking, you find that this information site doesn't even exist because it's a bot, but you share it anyway. This is why China should not have access. So y'all want to fight for your limitations? No, you fighting for your limitations. There should not be another country that has that kind of talking about. That's why the United States wants to stop it, because it's sharing information. Yeah, it's sharing a whole lot of shenanigans. You got people fighting on there. You got people in their 20s and their 30s that are experts. You ain't an expert in nothing. But they're experts in relationships and experts in this and experts in that. And they're sharing this information amongst each other. So you got a whole generation of people that are anti this and anti that and anti the other thing. And the underbelly of it is coming from bots. No. We are very vulnerable and very susceptible right now to a lot of outside forces. And that should be the conversation that we should be having if you're studying astrology, numerology, and cardiology. That's what we should be looking at, right? Not, oh, I need to know if I'm going to get married. If you getting married in a takeover or things happening in the United States, all of the things that are happening in the United States, and the least of your worries is about getting married. You can get married any day, right? We can get married any day. We want to be able to walk the streets of the United States, do the things that we do. Laws are being changed and things are being happened to prevent you from doing a lot of things that you take for granted. Do you know that? Do you know that? Are you aware of how many laws that they're changing and how many things that they're putting in place? Yeah, we gotta think. We gotta think, right? Use that old noodle like they used to say. We got to think, and we got to have conversations that help us build. We got to build. That's it. It's up to us. It ain't up to nobody else. Nobody's going to fix it, that part. But thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. As always, it has been good information, good conversation. Next time, come with your questions, right, that are not about your person. You can always book a reading with me, and we could go through your whole life path and do everything. A personal reading. Invest in yourself. Invest in coming to my classes in 2 weeks. Or we have the Five of Diamonds weekend where we're going to be going over next year and what next year is going to look like. Go to Levin University and sign up. It's going to be 2 full days. We got 5 is going to be in the sun, and the 5 is going to be displacing the 8. 5s and 8s are not, you got 5 is Mercury, 8 is Saturn. So this year, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And we want to know how we are going to be using that 5 of Diamonds. That's a change. And of course, it's a change in resources, right? So join the class, sign up for the class. Is early bird special, and it's very cheap. It's only $199 for the weekend. So it's not expensive, right? It's not expensive. And don't say, yeah, it's not. If you are someone that has not learned how to manifest and have everything that you want, you should not be studying these metaphysical sciences. Because whatever your hand is telling you, whatever the cards are telling you, you should be able to have it. Because you have your hand, you got your life path is telling you what's time for this, what's time for that, what you should be doing. You're studying these things for a reason. So if you're limited and you have lack and you have problems and stuff like that, you might want to wonder why. This opens you up to abundance, right? Abundance. Everything that you need is going to be given to you. The universe is going to dance at your feet. It's going to be so happy that you get it, that you are part of that vibration that's needed. So when you at that vibration, that's the 7 of Diamonds. When you're at that vibration, everything, Venus is the attraction. 7 of Diamonds is the attraction. So everything that you need, that you attracting, comes to you. Tomorrow's the 7 of Diamonds. I want you to pay close attention to your surroundings, to your thought processes, and to people. This is a very attractive energy. And if you're not vibrating up here like this on the 7 of Diamonds day, and the 7 of Diamonds in Pluto, I don't, keep your vibration high tomorrow, okay? And watch everything around you, right? Keep your vibration high, fam. And I will see you out here in these streets. Peace, fam.